Hey everybody, here's my Wyze Cam. This is the outdoor mount it's currently housed in. And these are my antennas here. You can see it's the SMA on one end and the little plug type on the other. And since I'm mounting the face there, I need my SMA connector to be somewhere in here, about midway in the camera. It might be tough to do. I might be able to have a hole going through right here, just enough for this to seep through. And push against the camera once we get in here. Let's see, somewhere in here, just somewhere right in here. Excuse me, goes like that. Top the camera, USB down. So still somewhere up here. Maybe we're to the side here. I can poke this black part through and then have a hole big enough for this to poke out the back. So let's see what this looks like inside. Couple of screws right here. One. Two of these guys. And looks like it just pops up there. Let me get a little flathead. So if I pull back on the foot, this rises up. There we go. Pops away from the case. As seen on a few other videos out there, but that is the case. It literally pops off. Those two little retaining screws, pops off. So again, cameras like this in my case, USB down, so I need to be somewhere right in here. Speakers up here. So if I drill right next to the USB, right next to the USB port, right here, in this plastic, just big enough to get this wire through. That'll allow me some space to go in and out, because I'm going to actually mount this guy out here, and I want this to make a solid connection. So I'll need some wiggle room to go this way. So I think maybe just a drill bit just big enough for this guy, right next to the USB, because there's plenty of space right here. Boy, can you see this little wispy of an antenna in here? No one ever really gets a great shot of this. But it's right here. Little wispy of a flat panel antenna, and the connection for it is all the way right in here. I wonder if I can get to that without totally hosing it. It's right underneath the screwdriver there. It's that little gold connection. Maybe you can see that. I'm going to try and pop it off without taking the whole thing apart. Right here. Maybe I can just pop it. And there it is. It's off. So maybe we can get you guys see. The connection is off right here. I can actually pull it out now, right here on this little wire. It goes behind everything. I'm stuck in there a little bit. Well, if I need to go back, I'll leave it there, but it's right here. And once you're in here and doing this, you'll be able to see it. It's no problem. It's this little black wire right here with its gold connector. Right there. It just pop on and off, just like a little thumb press and a little press up. So I'm going to push it out of the way. And it's got the exact same connector as this little guy. So I want to, there's my 2 screws to orientate, right? Not that I need that, but I'm going to pop me a hole right here and put this through this way so that I can maneuver this back and forth on the back of this as this comes on and off. I'm hoping to be able to push this back in there. So we'll start with this guy. Maybe just a tad bigger. Start with this guy, which number 25 HSS, made in China, of course. Little 25. All right, I'm going to go on this side of things. So it's going to be on the, where I'm mounted outside, it's like this with the house here. So I'm going to put it, try and get it right about here. Just this side of the USB port, which looks like it's just nice and open right here. Line it up best we can. Nice little hole there. Nice and easy, didn't break through, didn't hit the circuit board. This guy fits. It tucks in. like that. That's what I'm hoping for, because this is going to have to come in and out a little bit as I pull this on and off here to do that. So we'll leave that alone for a second. Camera's like this. USB cable comes down, so it reconnects like that. Just to make sure we're comes out right there. So there's my hole. So I don't really have a precise way of doing this, so right where my thumb's at, I'm thinking it's right here. If someone has a better way of making this hole all ears, put it in the comments please, because I'm kind of guessing here about where this hole might be. Right here, USB's center. Sure looks to me to be like right here. Right here's my thought. Just on the side of the USB and down just a bit. But as I put it in here, sure looks to be right where this mark is I put there. Right there. And then a hole big enough for this guy to poke through. So, a little large. We'll start small and maybe wiggle it open just a bit. Oh, that fits perfectly. Maybe you guys can see it fits nice and snug through that. So let me tighten that in. And that would be Alexa announcing the delivery of my antennas. We'll get some pliers on the back side here. Okay. There's my antenna mount. We'll go through. thinking I would like some kind of strain relief. Looks like I can wrap it down and around this little wire here, or this piece of plastic. Looks like it holds a screw. It'd be a good little tensioner so it doesn't pull on it so hard. And again, here's our little connector. Hope you can see that in there. It's right pretty much where we can get to it. And once you're in here, you can totally see where you need to be. It's right here. And I should be able to push it down with a screwdriver and make connection. I'm just aligning it over the socket. It's just the socket set. And I'm going to push down with the screwdriver. Unless I want to take the whole camera apart more, which I don't really want to do. There it is. It's on. So again, I just popped off the old one with a little flat head, and it's dangling right next to it. And then I put this one over the top of it and pushed. And here, we'll take this one out so we don't have an electrical issue floating around in there, right? Metal conductor just floating around in there. See if I can get the old one out here a little bit. Or at least get it somewhere safe. Wow, I think maybe it's catching on something in there. I can see it in here, it's right here. Okay. And if we put things back together, this should hopefully go like this and into the hole, which it looks like it is. You gotta have kind of close eyeballs on it. Looks like I should have gone towards the USB just a smidge, but there it is. And I can see the end of the black part coming through. I can see this part with the heat shrink coming through right there. There's that. Just nicely tuck the wire in here. Maybe a little bit long for a cable. Kind of tuck this in here a little bit like that. Get the foot back on here. Snaps in. 2 little screws. I didn't lose the screw, did I? Fold the foot back down and see if we can get this to go back in here. I'm having to move the wire over just a smidge. I should have gone a little bit closer. There we go. A little bit closer to the USB. A little bit tight. Let's see if we can get it to close here. Well, I'm going to need a bigger hole, I can see, because it's smushing right here. So I'll pause for a minute, I'll make that hole bigger and we'll come back. Okay, I got a bigger hole, should go through now. And if you can see, I got the old antenna wire corralled up in the corner and away from the circuit board there. So take some doing. When you're in messing with the wires, you can totally see what you're doing, but I just, behind this, looks like the speaker wire right here, I used it to hold the old antenna wire up and away, since I couldn't pull it through without pulling the whole thing apart, which is doable. There's other videos on how to do that, but I just need it up and out of the way and not touching anything. So I got that old connector up out of the way. Now we'll come through again with our larger hole this time. Hover over the connector, and I'm just going to use the little flathead to push it back down onto the board. And just a push-pull connector, very, very nice. Takes some doing. Pretty fine little spot. Easier if you pull it apart again, but I didn't want to do that. Boy, it's tough getting it to hover right over the right spot. There it is. Oops, lost it. Push with a flathead. There we go. So maybe you can see that guy right in here. Right there. probably see in there a little bit. Just pushes right down. Just got it over the board. Use the flathead, push it down, and it's on. So now these two holes here, right, or that hole with the connector going to go through. Let's see how this comes through. Still pushing over. I think I need to go further to the case, because I can see it trying to come through here with the shrink wrap. So you can see where it's bowing it over. So I need to go further to the edge of the case. So I'll get that done and put it back together. Be right back. All right, there's what I ended up with, because I had to let the nut actually recess into here to get it to close up all the way. So drilled far more to the side than I thought I would. I even nicked the existing antenna a little bit with the drill bit, because I just used the drill bit to wiggle it open little by little. But it fits in perfectly flush now. So if this works, I'm not terribly worried about the old antenna, of course. I was just hoping not to damage too much of the existing unit. So I'll just fold this wire in here a little bit. Got it all connected. Let's see if I can't tuck this in here.
Someone is at the front door.
Someone's at the door. Must be for the kids. Fold this in there. Snap those in. So when the screws back, put the foot back down, and again, there. There. And see, it fits nicely now that I open that up some. Put it back together, and there's my outlet for the SMA. Now I have these under an eave and protected a bit, and I can always put a washer in there or a little silicone at the very edge right around here to waterproof a little bit. But being under the edge or under the eave, I'm not terribly worried about it too much. And still have plenty of room to thread on. Boy, that would be a mistake, wouldn't it? There we go. Extended wireless antenna. So now I'll put it back in place, and we will see what kind of connection we get. Took a little doing, but that's how I got the first one done, so I'll learn from that one for the next ones. But the connection was super easy to the antenna, so this will far beat, I bet, the internal little piece of flat panel antenna they got. So fingers crossed, we'll give it a test.